Okay, we decided to take a break from Nauvoo, come up to Fort Madison, which is up the river. There's Mississippi right here, Fort Madison, Iowa. It's just up the river about 10 miles, and then on the Iowa side. Got some interesting stuff here. It's big barge commerce. I mean, train tracks. There's a swing bridge we hope to get video of, where the center of the bridge turns like this to allow barges to go this way or that way. The bottom of that bridge, maybe you can't even see it, it's kind of far away, is for trains to go across, and the top, there's cars to go across. So anyway, got this caboose here. Whoa! Wasps. Watch out for the wasps. Wow, look at all that. Look at all the spider webs and...
Oh, that's gross.
Okay, I don't think I've ever been in a caboose like this. Wow. Guys, you know, they don't put cabooses on trains anymore. I wish they did. Those was always neat. Spider webs, but I guess the guys would look. Wish out. There's must be a wasp nest right there.
They gonna walk through, or
yeah. Old cook stove, and probably heated it in here too. What's this? The restroom, I suppose.
Yeah. Sink in there, so I'm sure that was probably the.
Yep. The water for the restroom.
Okay,
I wonder why they had. Well, I guess yeah. The crew used to ride in here, and like here's a couple beds. You know, the guys that get out and switch tracks and stuff. What's this?
Just said it was a time to refurbish this, and it was all volunteered.
This is
donated time.
Caboose number 235.
Shame they haven't kept it up.
Retired here in Fort Madison since it is 235 miles to Chicago from the local railroad shop. Old timers always refer to Fort Madison as 235, and to this depot as 233. Okay. Never know what I'm going to find when I'm in these places and you're opening doors. You gonna jump out at me or what? But anyway, what's it? Just storage, I guess. So, alrighty. Oh, spider webs. Oh, my ankle's still a little bit sore, but it's getting better. Oh, we're gonna do some train spotting here. Apparently, you can get on Amtrak here too. We're gonna go take a look at that's the old Fort Madison right there. So pretty cool. Come on, take a power sprayer to this thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
See if these guys wave like the barge. Okay. Well, by the way, we learned today that you know, the big barge that we saw go through the lock up in Quad Cities, those 15 barges carry the equivalent of 1,000 truckloads of grain. Over 1,000 truckloads of grain. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna be looking at a couple different things for a minute. This is the old Iowa State Penitentiary, maximum security prison. they've built a new one on the other side of town. I forget when they got that done. But look at this old prison. I would love to get a tour in here. Okay, we're coming around the other side. Must have been the power plant. Staff and visitor entrance. $1839 this prison was built. By the way, here's the river. Right here. Wow. And we're on the other side of it here. It looks like they definitely... Look at the old lookout tower up there. It's got some cameras and stuff. Like an old castle, old fort.
So that's the swing bridge there too. The lighter section is what swings open. So they don't have locks and dams, they have the swing bridge.
Spectacular. Okay, we are at the historic Fort Madison. This fort was involved in several conflicts, War of 1812 and other ones after that. So I believe this is the first one on the west side of the Mississippi. Could be wrong, but we're going to find out. Stay tuned.
Is he supposed to meet us right inside, or?
Oh, you just go and...
Oh, we just do our own thing. Okay.
You have to do your own thing and they'll tell you about it when you get there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, now this is at the old fort. Looked like this was a trading post.
Blacksmith shed.
Along with also being a fort. Blacksmith shop. Yeah, I guess it would hold some people at bay, some Indians or...
My granddaughter here, she's her brother's chief now, and she's the historic preservation officer out of Oklahoma, and she was saying that, yeah, that's him, and that no, he was not
Oh, really?
quite what he made himself out to be.
She's what now?
She's the historic preservation officer because she told me that she got.
Wow. Well, yep, have a good trip, thank you. Alrighty, how you all doing?
Good.
Fine, how are you?
Not too bad. Do you have any questions to begin with?
It's okay to film, right? She said I was...
Yeah, that's fine,
Okay.
that's fine.
Not off.
Not really?
I can start you with the map in here, probably a little bit easier.
Yeah,
than I
yeah.
do about surgery and all that stuff.
I guess to give you kind of a little overall background on the place to begin with. This map is a blow-up of the original one that was drawn on January 20th of 1810. It was part of an insurance policy for the factory building out front. And the whole point of this place is that it is a United States government trading post. They call them factories. The system lasted from 1795 to 1822, and the idea is it's kind of a hearts and minds program. You're trying to make friends. Everything will be sold at cost. They do not sell alcohol, and they'll give us good, if not better, prices for the furs and feathers and stuff that natives are bringing in to sell. And this place is established in Article 9 of the 1804 Treaty of St. Louis. It is part of the payment that was given to the Sauk and Fox for lands that they ceded in Illinois and down in Missouri. And so that's what the building out front is. The soldiers are here partly to protect that, but the other big thing is we're above the treaty line, which is the Salt River down by Hannibal, Missouri. There are no settlers up here, so the soldiers are here to do all the heavy labor, and they really do hate the place. Down in the one barracks room, I have a binder of biographies I did of the soldiers stationed here, and there's a receipt in there for one of the guys. He was paid 10 cents a day to move by himself 20,000 pounds of lead from the trading area down, loaded in the boats. That's all you did here. The guys hated the place.
You said 10 cents a day?
Yes. Yeah, unskilled labor with the Army gets 10 cents a day, the Indian Department. If you have a skill, it's a whopping 14 cents. Up until December of 1812, soldiers only made about 16 1/3 cents a day. They get about $5 a month. That's kind of the layout of it. It lasts, the trade here goes on until September of 1812, when Tecumseh, who had his confederation of tribes to the north side of the British, unleashes a huge theater-wide offensive. You get 2 forts in Indiana at this place, all within a couple hours of each other. Here, the trading post burned down. So for the last year they're up here, they don't carry on that part of the mission. This was used as a forward intelligence gathering outpost. Now, we're in this room right here.
Okay.
These are officers' quarters that ran this direction. The enlisted men's barracks run down the west wall here. The little foundations you saw when you first came in the gate out here, those are the kitchens. Now, when you go down to the other building, unfortunately, I had to put gates across them because of all the axes and knives and stuff in there, but my interpreters are going back to school. We have a quartermaster in the one, which you'll see a lot of the tools and things that they would have used to work at this place. There's 2 little cannons in there. They did have 3 of those stationed here. The one that you'll see on the table that's in the little yoke, that is how they were mounted. And you had one in the top of each blockhouse down here, and they could move them from door to door upstairs to shoot out. And they're just small little guns. And each unit can bring 4 of the enlisted men's wives along. They are here to do laundry. And so it cost a penny an article of clothing if the soldier supplied soap. If the woman had to supply the soap herself, it was a penny and a half. The women are considered military personnel, so they're subject to all these punishments I'll mention here in a minute. And they have the addition that they have to be married to be with the Army. And so if their husband died or was killed, they would give them 30 days to marry another guy in a unit till they would get rid of them. As they did not allow single women to accompany the Army. The other thing about a confinement punishment that can be kind of horrible up until April of 1812 is they are holding a soldier here named Jacob Klinger, and he is under arrest for murder and desertion. We know he'd killed one of his fellow comrades in St. Louis, tried to escape. They arrested him for some weird reason. They locked him up here for 4 years. And he goes crazy. If you look at the muster rolls down here in room 6, he'll be listed as a maniac on there, and they will underline it. So you're locked up with that guy who you know has already murdered 1 person and was apparently slowly losing his mind. So out here in the parade ground, that white pole that you see beyond the cannon there, between the wooden horse pillar stocks, that's what they would chain them up to flog them in front of evening parade when the soldiers were lined up here in front of the barracks. Here, when they get rid of flogging, they go to the wooden horse there. It's that sawhorse looking thing. You sit on that like you're riding a horse. They will handcuff you behind your back so that you cannot hold yourself up. And then off of each ankle, they will hang weights. A lot of times 6-pound cannonballs to weigh you down, and they will leave you sit there for varying amounts of time. By this period, it's about an hour at any one sitting, because it will kill you if they leave you on there too long. It cuts off circulation in the major arteries and you'll die. So the longest I've ever come across anybody riding on one, though, was here at Fort Madison. It was a young man named John Henderson. They caught him sleeping up in one of the blockhouses on guard duty 3 days after the captain had made that a capital offense. Well, they couldn't get a court-martial together to shoot him, so instead they put him on a horse for 60 hours. It was 1 hour every 3 hours. It went on for 10 days. Now, my staff thought it was hilarious a few years ago to put me on the thing because I missed morning parade at one of our days. Now, I didn't get weights or anything like that, but that was bad enough sitting there for 15 minutes. I would imagine this guy was begging to be let off of there. And you know, they could do other things. Deserters, I don't have anything specifically on this, but based on other places, deserters could be branded. This is on iron, and they'll brand you for different crimes. It's very likely Klinger had a big M burned into his forehead for murderer. This they would burn into your face usually and into your hands.
Gee.
And they will cut off parts of their ears as well to mark them. Deserters were to be marked forever. I can tell you a little bit about medicine if you want to see that.
Yeah.
And then I can shoot the gun for you if you'd like to see that, and then I can let you go on. The medicines in here are examples of medicines from the time period. Here, I guess you could say you're kind of lucky because malaria is the big problem, and they do have quinine at this time. So your chances of dying from disease are not high here. Examples of them in the cases that they would come in. And these are examples of surgical instruments. A lot of these are Revolutionary War period, but they don't change a lot by this time. Here they did have 2 different doctors that were trained doctors, Robert Simpson and Jonathan Cool. His big problem, I think, was surgery. And we do have some soldiers that were shot here, 4 that were wounded while he's playing doctor, 2 died after he cut into them. And part of the problem here is that the bullets are very large, very soft, and they move very slowly. That's a 69 caliber ball there. I've seen these recovered. They'll flatten out to be the size of like a quarter, even a 50-cent piece. If that hits a bone, it smashes it into pieces. I don't know that they could do much for you today. Back then they certainly could not, and that's why they cut so much off. Anyway, if you got injured to where they're gonna have to amputate something, this is the tourniquet here. It's a screw tourniquet. They'd wrap that around, crank it down, cut off the flow of blood. This thing is the capital knife. It was curved so it fits around the limb so you can cut down to the bone. And then we have hooks here for peeling everything out of the way, and then they would just saw it off just like you would a tree branch.
How do you know all this?
I have a doctorate in this time period, and I've
Okay.
been at this fort now for 14 years.
Really?
And so all these, if you go around and look at all the binders, these are a lot of the documents that we found in the National Archives that transcribed and put together so that people can see all of it.
Yeah, cool.
And I don't know, it's just one of those things I guess I do.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
did you want to see the musket fired?
Yeah.
I can shoot that? All right,
Yeah.
This, although it's
You want me to bring it up? Or?
yeah, no, bring me down mine. We'll put this one away in a little bit. But it's a smoothbore 69 caliber flintlock musket, so it's a gigantic shotgun. You had an effective range in mass ranks of about 150, 200 yards. As an individual soldier using one of these army cartridges, you were going to have to get within about 50 yards. So when these guys say wait until you see the whites of their eyes, they were not kidding. They will walk right upon each other to fire. A lot of firefights are from here to that front wall apart. Up at Lundy's Lane by Niagara Falls in July of 1814, they went out to bury the dead. And they said the guys were laid out in rows on the ground as though they were on parade, and the muskets were crossed between the opposing lines. So they were probably near the wall shooting each other in the face. This is a flintlock, so here's your flint. It has to be sharp. They did give you 4 per load of cartridges when you went into battle. This is a vise that you can open up, change them in and out. We'll put black powder in the little pan right there, shut down the frizzen.
Hello. Hello.
How are you folks doing today?
Pretty good.
Great.
You guys are educational.
Thank you. Do you guys have any questions so far about anything?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yep, no problem. Welcome here. This is the training post for Old Fort Madison. This is where, this is basically the reason that the fort exists, is in order to trade with the Native Americans, and by doing that, establish better relationships with them.
I gotta, if you want to look it up, I've got a YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
This won't be published for a couple weeks, but it's called Our Simple Adventures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're just traveling around.
Our Simple Adventures.
Our Simple Adventures.
Okay. That'd be pretty neat.
I-
It is. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Liz? Is that you?
Right there.
Oh, that's pretty neat
That's it,
stuff.
yeah.
I'd love to check out the video and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have permission for me to just post everything I said and everything, and then for him, I guess you just ask him.
Yeah, I did. I asked him already.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yep, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Subscribe. Watch some videos.
Okay, thank you. Yep, thank you for
Yeah.
calling.
I don't know. All I can say to that is wow.
Yeah.
How much knowledge and information these guys have.
His doctorate in here and doing this for 14 years. Somebody said he'd been here for 14 years doing this?
Yes. Yep.
Eugene. No, yeah, Eugene was here.
Yeah. So
Unbelievable.
anyway, yeah, this is. Go to my Patreon channel for this full video. So wow again. What'd you think of that?
Wow is a great
Tour.
word for it. That
Oh my
tour was
gosh.
fantastic.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. We've got some exciting news we're going to tell you. Or go to that Fort Madison and listen to these guys. They are so interesting and full of knowledge. Eugene, the doctorate, 14 years there at Fort Madison, studying journals, diaries, court records, military documents from that time period. Wow, so informative, and with personal stories.
Pretty remarkable. And we have to say, I mean, just to say up front that it's not the original Fort Madison. It's a reproduction, but they did a great job.
Anyway, the exciting news is, and I just briefly mentioned it at the end of the tour, I created a Patreon account, and for just $3 a month, if you go there, you can see the whole unedited. Well, you know, I'll cut here and there for worthless stuff, but basically the whole museum tour and all the information that they have. And we are seeing so many things like this, and I can't make the YouTube videos that long. I'm going to start putting those on Patreon, and for $3 a month, you guys can watch that. And also we're going to be putting more personal, private stuff on there, or stuff that maybe YouTube wouldn't allow us to put on. So we just kind of leave that there. But there's been things that I've wanted to film, but better not. So.
And all the information's below in order to sign up. The link.
Yeah. I will have the Patreon account in the description below. But it's www. I'll put it on the screen here too. www.patreon.com/OurSimpleAdventures, all one word. So anyway, love you guys. Please check that out. It'll help us defray some costs here. Going these things cost entrance fees and money and that too. So love you guys. We will see you in a few days.
Bye.